Hey guys, Liquid here, and welcome back to Let's Answer Some Questions. As always, post questions below, and I shall answer them next week. Let's get started. Red Robin asks, how long does it take you to make a video? Now, at the moment, really, it's something that has changed for the course of my channel. I'd say, but these days, honestly, it doesn't really take that long. Like, pretty much, in order to make a video, to record a video, generally is just, open up OBS and record, and stop recording once it gets to a certain time. Then upload the video, schedule it to go up at a certain time and whatnot. And that's pretty much it. These days, I don't really do too much editing. Unless there's like some sort of drastic reason to do so, like I just died a bunch or something like that. Back in the day, it would take a little bit longer because I was using a program called Fraps, and I was recording. For the longest time, what I did was I just recorded one big session and then split it up into parts, whereas these days, I manually stop and say, hey guy, I say liquid out at the end of every 20 minutes or so, whereas before I would only do it at the end of every big session. And so what I would do with Fraps is, because Fraps would only record 4 gigabytes at a time, and basically I would have to stitch the videos together and render them, which took a long time. So it's each video would take the recording time plus just the hours to render the session and whatnot. But luckily, when you're rendering, it's not you can do stuff in the background. You can do stuff while it's rendering in the background. But that's pretty much it. I've never really. It's never really been too big of an issue to make videos. I would say, these days, if I'm recording something new, like a new game or something like that, I might it might take a while to get used to how just figuring out the settings and whatnot to make sure I can record it well and that it has a good frame rate and doesn't look bad or something like that. Yeah, I would say these days it doesn't really take too long. Luke Warner asks, what is the best way to publicize your channel? So you're asking me for advice, on how to get yourself noticed or some of that. I would say, for me, what I used to do was I used to actually just kind of not really spam. I didn't really spam my channel, but I would go on to a Necroscope86, fellow YouTuber, Let's Player fella, who he would do live streams on Ustream, and I would go into his streams, and whenever there was a downtime where he was taking a break between a game or something, I would just say, hey guys, if you're interested in the Necroscope, hey, check out my channel. And honestly, I do think that got me a good portion of my sort of initial grounding. Another thing I would say is to try to network. This is something that these days I don't really do too much. I don't really meet too many new YouTubers. I don't really reach out and try to comment on videos too much these days. But try to reach out to people, comment on videos of people that you enjoy or would like to collaborate with and do collaborations or something of that. And try to get your name out there without actually just because when you do just spam your channel somewhere, it's just it's very, you're the only person that really cares about that. Most people, don't really care. So, but if you make a genuine effort to try to interact with the community and whatnot, that might bring people your way. Red Hood 440 asks, PS4 or Xbox? I'm assuming that you mean Xbox One, not just Xbox in general. I've barely played. I've not played the Xbox One at all, and I've only played a PS4 very brief, honestly maybe 10 minutes in total. So I don't really have too much of a high opinion of it. But for the most part, I've typically been more of a Sony PlayStation fan than Xbox. Lee Cameron asks, "Can you do a Let's Play of Until Dawn, please? My favorite game of the past few years." I've heard very good things about it, and it does look very interesting, so I could check it out at some point. What was your favorite Tony Hawk game, and are you ever going to play any of them for Let's Play? I would say, my very first Tony Hawk game was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 for the PS2, and I'd say for that reason, it's probably my favorite, just because I've got a lot of nostalgia with it, and I would just play it so much back in the day. But the others are pretty good. I never really, back in the day, I used to I really only played Tony Hawk 4, and I rented Underground 2, American Wasteland, all those, and I remember the first Underground one. I remember it was pretty fun. Well, I'd say that, I enjoyed them all really, but back in the day, I never really played too much of 1, 2, and 3. And so those I don't really have too much experience with. I did go back and play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 at some point maybe in 2011, 2012, and I seem to remember enjoying it. But yeah, definitely Tony Hawk 4 I think would be my favorite. Do I ever plan to Let's Play them? I have thought about it. I'm not really sure how entertaining it would be. I think it would be kind of a I'm not really sure how it would work, just structurally, but it could be fun. I think one thing that I would worry about is just because there's so much license and music in the game. I would worry about getting targeted for copyright or something. Guy with a missing hand. Oh, I didn't actually mention that was a Tizify. Guy with a missing hand asks, "Are you going to see Avengers Infinity War when it comes out?" Honestly, I have no current plans to do so. I never saw the second Avengers, which was Avengers Age of Ultron. I haven't really seen a Marvel. I can't remember the last Marvel movie I saw. Maybe Days of Future Past. I don't think that doesn't count as a cinematic universe or whatever. I think honestly the last actual Marvel cinematic universe movie that I saw in theaters I think was the first Avengers. Take that how you will. It's I just haven't really been into it too much. Joel Hammers Boy Jim asks, "Hey Liquid, would you ever play any of the movie-based Star Wars games like Phantom Menace Classic or Revenge of the Sith?" I played quite a bit of the Revenge of the Sith game, so that is probably something that I might look into at some point. Phantom Menace, I'm not quite sure, because I know that there are quite a few. The first thing that I think of is that pod racing game, but I do think that I might know what you're talking about. Whereas for the PlayStation 1, where it's sort of a top-down kind of view, which I think I might have played that at a friend's house one time. But I can look into it. I'm not really familiar with it, but Revenge of the Sith, I did play a lot of. Played a lot of it with friends as well, the multiplayer dual mode. Hey, Liquid, would you ever play Assassin's Creed, the Assassin's Creed series? Also, do you like Prince? I could do the Assassin's Creed games at some point. I haven't really been keeping up with it. I played 1 and 2 and Brotherhood, and that's sort of it. I played a little bit of 3, but I never really got too far. But I've heard that 4 was quite good and took the series in an interesting direction. But yeah, it's possible at some point. But I wouldn't look forward to it anytime soon. And do I like Prince? Or I'm not sure if I read his name, but it's sponsorship. Do I like Prince? Honestly, I'm not sure. If you're talking about the artist, notice Prince. like the musician. I'm honest, I'm not sure if I've ever even listened to a Prince song. Like I know that he's a beloved fellow or whatever, but I've just never heard it or heard him. Joshua Robinson asks, "Will you play any other Lego games?" The only Lego games that I have played, honestly, have been just the Lego Star Wars games, and I did those because I was sort of nostalgic for it. But I would be interested, I guess, in checking out what other stuff is there, like Lego Marvel superheroes or some of that. Like Lego Batman, Lego Lord, like everything's a Lego game these days, I feel. Joey DeNicola asks, "Would you ever consider going back to Spider-Man 3, the movie game, and actually beat the final boss? Just because in that video you accidentally clicked trying something else instead of retrying. Lol, thank you for answering." Would I ever go back to Spider-Man 3? Like, perhaps at some point, I get a lot of questions saying, like, will you redo old Let's Plays? And my answer is always, it's a possibility, but I have no current plans to do so. But would I ever do it just to do the final boss thing? Probably not. Because even then, I still did, I went back and, like, looked at, I just, like, looked at the, credits, like the end cutscene on like a YouTube video, I think. That was a very funny moment, and it was very soul crushing. But could I do Spider-Man 3? At some point. But it would not just be just because this time we're finally gonna do the final boss or anything like that. But that's all the questions for this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Just to note to people that are listening this far, this week I have no videos scheduled to upload except for one update video, which will talk about some stuff that you'll see in the update video. But Let's Play uploads will continue the following week. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let's spend some more Let's Play. Let's answer some questions. Post questions below. I'll answer them next week. Liquid out.